Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Susan's Just Making It. I'm Susan and I am here making stuff, messes, chaos, and making it through life. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if this is your first time here, I'm glad you decided to watch today. So if you like today's video, don't forget the thumbs up, everyone. It's right down here. And you might as well hit that red subscribe button if you haven't already. And the notification bell so you know every time I upload a new video. So happy Mask Monday. I hope everyone's week is off to a great start. And I already put my mask on so I didn't have to fumble with it on camera, and I'm probably not going to leave it on quite that long because I was having some camera difficulties before starting the video, so I've had it on for a couple minutes already. But today I am using this face mask that is from Bling Pop. The top came off when I ripped it, and this is how the packaging looks, and it's a skin elastic mask with collagen, and this is a 15 to 20 minute mask. And for the top away, it was really wet when I put it on, but like I said, I was having camera problems, and it's got a ton of serum left in here. So I think after I do the mask and go off video, I'm going to try to put some of this on my face and like my hands and my neck and stuff like that. So anyway, when I was thinking about doing this week's Mask Monday, I was totally at a loss for what to talk about or what to do in my video. But I thought I would discuss something that's been on my mind for a few days. I thought, what the heck, I'll throw it out there. Hopefully it doesn't get me into too much trouble with my viewers. Just try to keep a sense of humor and take it with a grain of salt for what it's worth. I want to just put a disclaimer out there before I start talking that I'm only speaking from my opinion and my point of view on things and my own experience, and I hope it's not offensive. It's not meant to be. It's all in humor and just chatting about it. So with that being said, today I wanted to talk about dating once you get to a certain age, because I've had a few things on my mind lately, and I thought maybe you guys would get a little bit of entertainment from what's going on with that. And I'm noticing my camera's acting a little funny, so if the video's a little off, I do apologize. So with that being said, I want to talk about some of my dating experiences. First off, I'm not necessarily looking to date or to find a boyfriend or anything like that. I'm open to the idea that if I meet somebody that I enjoy spending time with, that's wonderful and all, but as far as looking to date, not necessarily. So I've heard some things being said about dating at our age, and I agree to an extent, you know, and like I said, just in humor and my experiences. But I've heard it said that dating at our age is like shopping at a thrift store. You try to find the least damaged, least smelly thing. And unfortunately, I have to agree with that because, yeah. And I don't want to get on here, and I don't want people thinking, oh, she's just going to come on here and do male bashing. I'm not doing that at all either. Because I'm just going to talk about my experience, and I'm not saying it's necessarily the men, and because I could very well play a part in that too, you know. I could be my own worst enemy as far as dating's going, so I'm you know, not blaming anyone. I'm just throwing stuff out there. So, and like I said, I'm not male bashing. There are plenty of wonderful men out there. Unfortunately, most of them are already taken. They already have wives or girlfriends or whatever. And with that being said, you know, a lot of my experience when I'm dating and dating men around my age, you know, I have to admit, men and women, once we get to this age, a lot of us are set in our own ways. A lot of us have our own baggage, our own life experiences. But a lot of times when I date someone, and after you've gone on a couple dates, start to figure out why they're still single. Just leaving that there. And some people may say the same for me, and that's fine too. I'm just saying, we got to be realistic about a lot of things too, you know. Like I said, once you get to a certain age, you're set in your ways, you know. You've had life experience, you've had you're set in your habits and things like that. So I think it makes it more difficult once you get to a certain age. Younger people pretty much have it made, because first of all, their life is more flexible and fluid, I think. And not only that, when you're young, it's like you meet somebody and you are going on physical appearance, and you just don't have as much stuff weighing you down, and it's like you just enjoy that person's company and doing fun things together. Once you get to a certain age, it's a little bit different. You want to look to enjoy the person's company, you want to enjoy the time you spend with them, but you're at a different place in your life and you're looking for different things. So that just throws a whole nother monkey wrench in it. And like I said, a lot of young people, oh, you know, he's handsome, she's pretty, whatever. Once you get to our age, you have to be a little bit more realistic about that. Most men, once they're over middle age, they're balding, they got that beard belly going on. Us women, we've got the wrinkles, we've got the saggy boobies, we've got the fupa. So you got to move past the physical appearance once you get to a certain age. I mean, not entirely. We all have our different things we're attracted to. I get that, and I'm acknowledging that. But it's not the same. That's not going to be your first priority when you meet somebody and you're interested in dating them. It's just not the way it's going to be. And I've never been like that anyway. I've always looked at the value of a person and their personality versus physical appearance. That's not the first. I mean, of course, it's the first impression when you meet somebody, but that's not my priority in considering spending time with someone. So, anyway, I'm just going to leave this on for a couple minutes because it's drying out really fast. So, yeah, it's just different dynamics. At a certain age, we have our own baggage, we have our own preferences, things like that. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. And like I said, with the physical appearance thing, and I've always been like that. You have to stimulate my mind before I really have any interest in spending much time with you. And sense of humor is a must, because I'm a very sarcastic person and I love to banter and have fun and stuff like that. So if you don't have a sense of humor, it's not going to work. And we have so much going on in our lives. Society has become so complicated, and people have so much responsibility and so much pressure that I think you have to have a little humor in life just to deal with life in general. So a sense of humor definitely I enjoy when I'm spending time with someone. So dating has been interesting, and like I said, I'm not necessarily looking to date, but once in a while you meet somebody, you know, I entertain the idea. Whether it goes anywhere or not, that's a whole different situation too. If it does go somewhere, that's wonderful, but if it doesn't, that's fine too, because I'm pretty content with where my life is right now. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off because it's getting really dry in a lot of spots and it's not comfortable at this point. So anyway, yeah, so if it comes along and it happens, it's wonderful, and if it doesn't, I'm okay with that. I am a recent empty nester. My youngest son just moved out a little over a year ago. My older son's been back and forth due to life circumstances, and now everybody's pretty much in their place. My daughter lives in Florida, so that's not really an issue, but the boys, you know, finally have left home, and I'm an empty nester. And I've been working on a lot of goals in my life and trying to pursue things, and I'm just enjoying my own space, my own time, and doing my own thing. So dating is not a priority to me. And I try to be upfront from the beginning when I meet somebody that I'm at a comfortable place in my life, and for me to give up or compromise some of that, it has to be worth it to me. You know, and I don't want to offend somebody when I say that or put them off from the beginning. I'm just trying to be honest from the get-go. And I think in dating, no matter what age you are, being honest up front is going to get you so much farther than trying to put on a false facade to only find out maybe a couple months down the road that this is not the person that you think you met. So sometimes that just, you know, is a done deal right from the beginning, because, you know, somebody's like, well, you know, men and women both, if you're not falling all over them, they're not interested. And I think that's a lack of maturity, just my personal opinion. But yeah, and it's like years ago when I dated, I always tried to put my best face forward. Now I'm myself from the beginning. If you can't deal with me the way I am, that's that. I'm not going to pretend to be someone I'm not. It's just going to get you in trouble down the road. Some people like it, some people don't. That's fine too. You know, not everybody is everybody's cup of tea, and I'm fine with that. But I make it very clear from the beginning that I am an independent person. I have my own thoughts and opinions about things. I do not depend on other people very much at all. If there's something I want, I try to go after that and accomplish it and achieve it myself. It's great if other people contribute to that, but I don't look for validation or for someone else to do that for me. I've never been in a position where I've had to depend on a man to financially support me. I've done that pretty much my entire adult life, even taking care of children and even other people from time to time, helping them out in a rough spot. So I'm not looking for all of that, you know, somebody to be there to. So I'm jumping in the middle here because there was something I forgot to mention that I wanted to talk about in this video concerning dating. Something that comes up in dating a lot and is oftentimes an issue, especially when you get further along in age and, you know, stuff like that, that I'm finding is that a lot of men, and like I said, I'm speaking from a female's point of view, a lot of men automatically assume that if they're in a better financial position than the female they're dating, is that the female is after their money and is a gold digger. I want to clarify a couple things with that. First of all, Kevin, who has a milk crate bookcase and 2 plastic chairs as living room furniture, you're good. You're good. Nobody is after your money, okay? And with that being said, for myself, and this is advice I'd give to any other woman out there, especially maybe the younger women could benefit from this more. I was taught from a very early age, my mother and my father, to be as independent as possible so that you don't have to depend on anyone else, especially a male. My thing is, I am never going to put myself in a position for a man to tell me, you would not have that if it wasn't for me. And another thing, once you become especially financially dependent on someone else, you're giving them an awful lot of power. Just something to keep in mind. Now I'm going to exit and let you watch the rest of the video to make me feel like I'm to validate my worth as a human being, because I don't need a partner to do that. I don't think anybody should feel that way. So I don't know, it's like, from my experience, a lot of men will say, oh, that's great because I love an independent woman. They say that until the reality sets in a lot of times. I'm not saying any of this is 100%. I'm just talking from my own experience. A lot of men will say, oh, I really appreciate that you're independent, you do your own thing, and you're financially capable of providing for yourself. Yeah, until you start having opinions that they don't agree with and things like that. And then it turns into, oh, you always have something to say. With me, pretty much. Yeah, I do. If there's something I want to say, I'm going to say it. And if you can't handle it, then that's not meant to be, because I have my own opinions and thoughts. And it goes back to, like, when I meet somebody that I like spending time with, of course my family's like, oh, so when do we get to meet this person? And I'm like, I like this one. We're going to hold off on that for a while. And my sister's like, bring them to the barbecue, bring them to this, that, and the other. You got to pick off the weaklings from the beginning. And I'm like, okay. But it is true to an extent. I feel that way. And I know it sounds messed up, and it's all in humor and stuff with some truth behind it, but I feel that way. Let's just pick off the weaklings from the beginning. We're going to just throw everything at you right from the beginning. If you can't handle it, you better bow out now. And with that being said, I don't care for a weak male for a partner. And you may say, well, what do you mean by that? That sounds terrible. That sounds offensive. I have a hard time, because of past relationships and my own experience. My entire adult life, I've been hyper responsible. I've been responsible for myself and other people when I've worked, and I have made sure that everything runs smooth. So I really am not looking for a partner that does not have their crap together, basically, because I've done that so much my whole life. I don't want to keep putting that much energy into it. And I like a man that's strong character. Men that are too nice scare me. not that it is nice to be treated like a woman and a man that's old school and does that, but I'm scared because I'm not used to it. And my son goes, Mom, you need to get out of that habit. You're just used to, you've been in a relationship with so long with someone who was such a stone face and showed no emotion and was not emotionally available, that just because you're not used to it, don't be open to it, and appreciate it if you find somebody that acts that way. But it's so uncomfortable to me that I just don't know how I feel about it. So when a guy's too nice, I'm like, okay, what's going on? So it's a little scary to me. And like I joke around, and I've even told men this. I said, you know, in a way, I kind of like a man that is going to try to tell me what to do or be assertive. I said, not that I'm going to listen, but I respect that you had the backbone to try. So, I mean, some of them laugh and some of them are like, I don't know about her. But it's true. I like somebody that also has an opinion and is assertive, not aggressive, assertive. But I'm still going to kind of go with my own thoughts and stuff like that. And it has to be somebody that's willing to accept that, because at the end of the day, I'm an individual and I'm going to do what's right for me. And that goes back to the whole thing about maybe I'm my own worst enemy with this. I'm not just blaming the guys that I meet, because there are certain things I want out of life. And if it's not going to work being with somebody, then I'll just be by myself. You know, for me to give up what I'm doing right now, it has to really be worth it to me. I don't want to give up so much of the progress I'm making in life to consider a relationship with somebody that doesn't know what they want, and for it to not work out, and I've backtracked and I have to catch up with the goals I have. And you know, some men would be like, oh, that's a problem with women these days. Well, I guess maybe it is, you know, and whatever, you know, and maybe it's unrealistic expectations on my part, but I'm under the impression that once men get to be like in their 40s and their early 50s, they should kind of have their life together a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong, we all have our baggage, we all have our life circumstances, all that stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that once you get to that age, you should pretty much know what you're looking for in life and a partner, and a lot of men don't, and probably a lot of women don't either, but I'm a female, so I'm speaking from my point of view. And a few years ago I was dating, and I was getting really frustrated with the whole thing, because all these guys I was meeting, they just didn't seem to know what they wanted. They just didn't know what direction their life was taking. A lot of them had already been married, had kids, and so I was getting frustrated. I'm like, come on, man, once you get to this age, why are you so scattered and don't know what you want out of life? So in frustration, I put a post on Facebook, and I shared this in another video. I put out there, you know, I'm getting really frustrated with this. Men that are my age, it seems like they'd have their life together. I said, for that matter, I might as well just date younger men because they never mature anyway. To which my niece Amanda chimed in, oh, go on cougars.com. And I'm laughing, and right after that, my daughter comes in and says, don't encourage her. And a lot of the younger people in my life are quite amused by my dating experiences. But I take it with a grain of salt, and I laugh because you kind of have to, you know. And like I said, a lot of it's the males I'm meeting, a lot of it's me, because I have certain expectations, and I'm set in my ways too, you know. And I'm gonna admit I'm selfish. A lot of things I don't want to give up, and some people in my family are like, oh, you're just being too picky. You might think so. I don't, because first of all, I know my worth, and second of all, I'm not going to settle. And the thing is, I've done enough of that in my life with relationships, and I was unhappy a lot, and I'm not willing to anymore. I'm not settling because I know I'm not going to be happy, and I know my worth, that it's worth waiting for the right person, and if that right person doesn't come along, I'm content with being on my own until it does. And I think that comes with maturity and age, because a lot of younger people, I think they have a certain amount of insecurities where they feel that they have to be in a relationship to validate their value, their worth. I'm old enough to know that I don't need that. You know, there's a saying that says, it goes something about, I'm not looking for my better half because I'm not a half. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't need that to validate that I'm a worthy person. You don't need a partner to do that. It's not, I don't dislike men or anything like that. It's just, that's where I'm at with all of this. I would love it if I met the right person, but I just haven't yet. And I'm not ready to rush into that because I don't need that in my life. So yeah, and it's just a whole nother ball game once you get to a certain age. Like I said, you can't go on physical appearance like you did when you were younger, because as we get older that starts to fade. There has to be something behind that. You've got the middle-aged men that are balding and the beer belly. You've got the middle-aged women that the wrinkles are showing up and the boobs aren't where they started, and you got the fupa, especially if you've had kids and stuff. So you have to have something behind that. You know, it doesn't last forever. And I don't know, it's like I've had my dating horror stories. I share them with my family because they seem amused. I went on a date once, and when I got picked up to go out to dinner, he had his dog with him, and I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that's normal. So I wasn't sure how I felt about that, and we didn't have no chemistry. We didn't click. He was a little too hands-on, and it just wasn't my thing and stuff. So at the end of the day, he's like, well, will I hear from you again? I'm like, oh, we'll see how it goes. Immediately after closing the door, I deleted his number and put him on block, and I'm like, don't wait by your phone. Don't call me, I'll call you. Do not wait. And because he just was inappropriate, and there was no chemistry and no common interests and stuff. And, you know, everyone thought that it was hilarious. I told them more in detail about the date, and I said, the worst thing is I liked his dog better than I liked him. I said maybe I should have been open to another date and just went on a date with the dog, like to a dog park or something. But you gotta have humor when you're dating, young or old, because it's a Shark Tank. You say there's many fish in the sink. No, you're jumping in a Shark Tank. I'm sorry, Shark Tank. And it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I try to have humor because you have to, but I've just had so much going on with it, and it's like, is it even worth the effort at a certain age? It's like, I recently met an individual, and this is where my frustration's coming about the last few days, and it wasn't like actively pursuing dating. It's just we happened to meet, and we found out that we had a lot of friends and acquaintances in common, and I do enjoy spending time with this person. He's a very nice person and things like that. However, I'm to the point that I just want to take my time and see how well I click with somebody and not rush into it, because that's not necessarily something I'm looking to jump into. I'm too old to do that. This person seems to be in a big rush, like making all these plans for the future. It's like, hey, I haven't even known you that long. Hey, hold on a minute here. I'm just still feeling you out, deciding how much I like you. But I'm a little put off because I'm trying to accomplish some things. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. I'm trying to start a small business. I have other goals in mind that I'm working toward, and it's new to me having all my time to myself, and I'm trying to take advantage and enjoy that. And I'm being a little put off because this person thinks I'm supposed to always be available when they want to talk to me or spend time with me. And although I'm flattered, I have things to do sometimes. And if I'm telling you that, okay, I would enjoy spending time with you too, I have X, Y, and Z to do, I will try to get this stuff done and clear up, you know, free up some time so we can have some time together to hang out and go do something. But I can't get that done if you're going to be blowing up my phone and stuff like that. And if you're going to keep putting pressure on me to free that time up, it turns me off. You know, at the end of the day, my life is my own. I'm going to be with myself my entire life, you know, and I'm not going to continue to sacrifice my time and things I want to do. I've done enough of that in my life. Yes, I'm going to make time to spend with this person, and it is a priority, but I have other priorities. I respect this person's time and that they have things to do. I don't interrupt them during their work schedule, and if they say they have plans, I respect that. We have things that we have going on in our lives. However, the problem comes in when you're not respecting that I'm telling you I have things to accomplish and I need this time. And you're putting pressure on me to free up time. That's all good and fine. But when you have things to do, instead of telling me that this weekend I'm doing this, this, and this, you just, no communication. That's not how it works. My opinion, that's not how it works. It's a two-way street. You want me to free up time, and you will become an obstacle to me freeing up that time, and I'm supposed to be available whenever you want to spend time together. However, I'm willing to respect that you have things going on, but you can't even tell me that you have things going on. You just totally don't communicate at all. It doesn't work that way. I am old enough to understand people have things going on, and we can't always, our schedules aren't always going to meet, but you need to communicate that with me. Without trust, communication, and respect, there can be no relationship, in my opinion, at my stage in life and my experiences. For those of you that aren't aware of how old I am 50 years old. And in 50 years, I've had a lot of experience, and I've dealt with a lot of people, and I have a sense of what I do and don't want out of life, and what I will and won't tolerate from people. And not to sound mean when saying that, but there's a saying, we teach people how to treat us, and it's entirely true. And I think a mistake a lot of younger women, and probably even men, do, is that they're so insecure or so inexperienced with dating that they accept things that aren't acceptable, and they want the other person to validate them. And in order to do that, they do things that they really shouldn't be doing to themselves, you know. A lot of it's just about self-respect, you know. Yeah, when it's two people having a relationship together, there's compromises and things like that. But at the same time, don't lose your individuality for another person. And I guess that's where I'm at. And maybe it's just, maybe it's me. I can be a little rough around the edges. And like I said, I'm probably my own worst enemy in some ways. But it's okay, because I'm not losing myself anymore, and I don't expect other people to do the same either. I try to be reasonable when I'm seeing somebody that they have obligations and things that they want to do on their own and stuff like that. It's okay, but you have to respect that I do too, you know. So it is what it is. But I really feel good about that in my life, because when I was younger, I really made a lot of poor choices because of the things I'm talking about. And I'm hoping that I'm learning from my past experiences, and I'm trying to, not just in dating but in life in general, I'm trying to take things slow. I'm trying to take a look at my own behaviors. I'm trying to prioritize my goals and things like that. And like I said, if I meet the right person, that's wonderful, but if it's not the right person, I'm okay with that and moving on. I don't need that to validate myself, or, you know, whatever. So like I said, you know, just attempting to throw some humor out there. You know, the men want the strong women until they don't like what they have to say or how they think. And when you get to a certain age, you know, the whole dynamics change. Mixed families come into play. Because more than likely, by the time you're 50 years old, you've been married, you've had your family. That's something you have to consider. People get set in their ways. I'm set in my ways. There's certain ways I like things done, and I'll admit, sometimes I don't want to compromise, and I understand that's a problem. But sometimes I'm like, no, we're not doing that. Just no. And like I said, some men are okay with it and some aren't. And the ones that aren't, I'm like, okay, I don't know what to tell you, you know? You know, and it's not that I haven't overlooked things that at first I'm like, I'm not crazy about that. But sometimes you gotta look at the whole picture. You know, if there's like one or two things that are minor and you can work around, okay. But hopefully at my age, I'm seeing the first one or two red flags and not waiting for 15 like when I was younger. But I've babbled about it long enough. I just wanted to like throw it out there. It's been a little bit of a frustration I've been working with lately. I was dating a few years ago, kind of actively dating, you know, meeting people, going on dates. Okay, it didn't work out with this person, dating another person. It was like a dating thing. Now I'm not looking to date, but once in a while I'll meet somebody and I'll go out and we'll spend time together, and it just hasn't been really going anywhere. I'm open to meeting somebody, but I'm not looking to meet somebody, and it's just a lot of it is me. It's where I'm at in my life. It's not a priority, and I know what I want, and to an extent I'm not willing to compromise a lot of that. I'm not an unreasonable person. Some stuff I know you have to compromise and change your life, but just the right situation hasn't come along. So I'm kind of okay with that, and I just want to get off my chest because this particular person I'm, you know, seeing, talking to, whatever, is like having an issue with a few things. It's like the respect's not going both ways, and communication is a must. I'm a very understanding person if you communicate and this person's not doing that, and it's really like turning me off a little bit. And I'm the kind of person that I will a few things will come along, they might bother me, but I'll overlook them. But if it continues, I'm not willing to overlook it anymore. And if that makes me a bad person or unreasonable person, I'm okay with that. So I've babbled long enough, just throwing it out there to get it off my chest. Maybe some of you can relate, maybe some of you see the humor in it. That's okay too, you know. But with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this up because I have blah 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 long enough. I appreciate all you guys. Remember the thumbs up if you liked the video at all. If you have any input, any funny stories, any advice, any of that stuff, I always love hearing what everyone out there has to say. I love reading your comments. I love responding to them. I really love the interaction and all that great stuff. So again, happy Monday to everyone. I hope your week is off to a wonderful start and continues to be. And until next time, bye everyone.